Decay holds a very special place in my heart. It was the first high-end makeup brand that I ever purchased anything from. I grew up in a small town. I didn't even really know like this whole world of high-end makeup existed until I started watching YouTube videos, and the Naked palettes were all the rage. So I had them. I had all of them. Now I've been able to tell myself no for more of their recent launches just because I was in a place where I'm like, I have too many palettes. Like, I don't need another palette right now. But when I saw this one, this is the Backtalk palette, there was just so much hype around it. I was seeing it on social media all the time, and I knew that I had to have it. What really drew me in was the fact that you have cheek and highlighters. This mirror comes out, and then you have 8 shades of eyeshadow, and I think that some people might kind of describe this as what they were looking for with Naked 3 palette, because there were a lot of shades that were very similar in that palette, but this one does have kind of a good range. And if you're like me and you were thinking like, how's that mirror gonna stay in? Is it just gonna like fall out every 2 seconds and annoy me? It is actually magnetic, which is really cool. So the one side is magnetic and it's not going anywhere. In terms of the color story, I enjoyed that they included a very pale shade that's matte. So they have 3 sheets, which is matte. They have Backtalk, which is matte, and What the Fuck, or WTF, sorry I swore. They have that one, which is matte too. The rest are kind of like shimmers. And then you have Party Foul, which is clearly a highlighter. Low Key, which it also kind of looks like a highlighter, but could be a very shimmery blush for some people. I was concerned about this side of the palette, just in terms of like how deep the colors are, because I'm very fair. But, you know, I was like, I'm just gonna make it work, we'll see what happens. So then you have Cheap Shot and Double Take, which are blushes. Cheap Shot has, actually they both have some shimmer to them, so we'll see how that turns out. I also thought it was interesting that they chose to go with a cardboard packaging, which a lot of their stuff in the past has been plastic, like a really good quality plastic, or more of like a tin, which this seems like a little bit on the cheaper end, but I do like the packaging and it does feel very nice and substantial. I don't know if that matters to you, if it feels substantial in your hand, but it does feel substantial. And overall, I just like the concept of like the name Backtalk. I think it's just really cute. I think that the time that we're in right now with the kind of female empowerment, Me Too movement, I think this is just like, this is good timing for that. It's kind of just like, come on guys, like, let's talk back to them. I'd like to think of it more that way rather than like just social media drama, like clap back, throw shade, say what, like I'm not into all that drama. I mean, I love watching it. It's entertaining. But I'd like to think of this more as like females, actually just anybody, like stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to backtalk for something that's important to you. Was that too deep for a palette? I don't know. My first thoughts on the swatches is that they seemed a little bit chalky. These shades here seemed a little bit more chalky, and then the shades down here seemed pretty pigmented. I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. I have read some reviews on Sephora.com, people saying like this wasn't up to the regular standard of Urban Decay, but I'm not sure until I put it on my eyes. I just think that sometimes shadows can almost be too pigmented, and then when you go in with too much and you start blending, and it just like becomes all very messy really quickly and like muddy. So I'm not personally opposed to shadows that are more dry, but we'll just have to see how these turn out. So I have some base on, I have a little bit of bronzer in my crease already, because I went to the post office to pick this up, and I just wanted to have like my eyes not look completely naked. So yeah, that's what I have going on. We're gonna get up close and personal, and try out some of these shades. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with 3 sheets. Just kind of a pale pinky white-ish color. Wow, I'm really good at describing things. I'm just going to go all over my eye space because I do have some stuff on there already, and I just want to make it a little bit more neutral so you don't see the bronze color as much. Now this mirror is a little bit narrow, which I think may throw some people off. I could see why some people wouldn't like that shade because it doesn't seem to show up too much even on me. And I'm really pale, but I actually kind of like that. Just I feel like a lot of palettes are missing that one like just matte shade that can just kind of like blank everything out for you. Like a lot of palettes have like a light shimmer, and I always feel like I'm missing that like one light shade for my skin tone, and I think that this one really works for that. And I like the amount of shadow that comes off. You see, like, I dipped into it a lot, and there's no powdery, there's like barely any powdery residue that's on there, which if you go into like an Anastasia palette or something, you'll just be like left with so much powderiness, but this one does not have that. My brushes are all so dirty, so I'm like cleaning them all off with one of these things in between. Which, if you are broke and you don't have a million brushes like me, you can definitely do that. Now I'm gonna go into, I think, the obvious choice. I think people kind of get annoyed with Urban Decay a lot because they say they don't have enough matte shadows in their palettes. But they do make like the little mini Naked Basic palettes as partners to their other palettes, so it's kind of a good strategy on their behalf because then they can just make more and like you'll buy more. Anyway, the next obvious choice is Backtalk, and actually a lot came out on the brush for that one. Okay, I don't know what people are complaining about on Sephora. I actually like these shadows. They're not like the creamiest, but it just means that they're going to be easier to build, in my opinion. I'm going to take WTF, which is the brown, and I'm just going to do all like the most obvious shades first and build this all up. So we'll just go in the other corner. These are pigmented. I don't know. Man, people are just, these are fine. I don't know. I read a lot of negative reviews about this palette, to be honest. I think it's fine so far. Okay, I can see a little bit maybe what people would say, how like this shade, if you blend it, it kind of blends out quite a bit where it leaves you with not that much left. But I kind of like that you can build it up rather than like, bam, I made a mistake, uh-oh, like, if I blend this, like, I can't fix it. Okay, so we either have to go in with shade or attitude. I'm kind of scared because they're both pretty dark, but I think I'm going to go in with shade. Okay, I'm going to take, I'm going to take Curve and put it in the remaining space. Now, Curve didn't seem to show up too much. It's definitely like a lighter shade. Gonna go into 180, which is definitely very pigmented. It has some kickback. Right? Sorry, my card was full. I just put a little bit of 180 on the crease, or not on the crease, like at the lash line. And I'm gonna pop on some mascara. I'm not doing anything on the lower lash. I know, crazy, but I'm going out to the store and I just don't want to look that dramatic, you know? Alright, let's move on to cheeks. I'm kind of scared. I think I'm gonna have to put on both, right? This is Cheap Shot. And let's put some double take. What do we think? I never have like strong opinions about blush, so I don't know if it's good or not. I don't really wear blush too often. The highlighters are important though, so I'm gonna go in with Low Key first. It looks pretty orange, so I don't know how this is gonna work for me. For me, I think this one's kind of like a blush topper. It doesn't really stand out enough on my skin. And I think a lot of people might not like that formula just because it's not like that blinding effect that you're used to. But let's go into Party Foul and see what we get. I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush just to have more impact. I'm thinking I put a little bit too much blush on, so I'm gonna try to like tone it down a bit because I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm a little uncomfortable with that much blush. Let me just get the apples a little bit lighter. Yeah, that's better. Alright, let's do some setting spray. And I just need to put on a lip. I'm going to do NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Sandstorm, and then some Fenty Gloss Bomb. So I was looking at my video and I do not know how to figure out my lighting. So I wanted to pop back on here because the ending of it was just so like over, it was just like so blown out, just like way too bright. So I just wanted to come back on and tell you my thoughts on the palette. Got it right here. After playing with the palette, I do like it, but I am so far like slightly disappointed with it. I feel like it's cool, I like the monochromatic vibe, but I'm thinking that some of the shades seem kind of similar to each other, so I think like a lot of the looks you create might end up looking very similar, and I'm not sure if that's going to be worth it to everybody. I mean, I love Urban Decay, so I wanted to pick it up, and I think it's so cute. I really do. I like the name. I just like the whole vibe of it. So it's up to you, your decision, your choice, whether or not you want to pick it up or not. Would I recommend it? I gotta play around with it more. I'm not sure yet. I think you have to be a real like Urban Decay fangirl to right off the bat just want it, because I think like some of the shades are pretty similar. Like even this one, it looks really purple in the swatch, but then once it's on the eye, it's not like, I mean, I'm wearing it, it's not that purple, which is kind of disappointing because I feel like this shade will end up looking like it too. And then the difference between like Bare and Curve, I think like once they're on the eye, they'll actually look very similar to each other too. So those are my thoughts. Thanks for checking out my channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. My nose is running. I hope you can't see that. It's winter here still in Canada. But yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna keep saying yeah, because I don't know what to say apparently. But yeah, see, I was gonna say yeah again. Anyway, these look so pretty on the fingers, man. Like, where was that purple? Where is that vibrant purple on the eye? I don't know. I'm not gonna take it back though. I still like it. The nose. Alright, thanks for stopping by. I want you to remember, don't just make up your face, make up your mind too, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.